Hi, I'm Tess Schultz, and today I'm going to show you how to make this quilt block. I'm calling it the 3D burst because it's kind of bursting out of the center there. And a cool thing about this one is how different it looks with and without like sashing and things like that. So look at that. It can look like that or like that. And this is all in the PDF along with all of the measurements and everything that you need. So you can download that in the description below. And so let's head over to the sewing machine and I'll show you how to put this together. Okay, here are all the pieces for this quilt block, and the sizes are, I'm going to show you the sizes right on the screen. So here's our color 1, our color 2, color 3, and our color 4, which is white. I'm actually going to put this box right there so that when I'm using the white fabric you can actually see it better instead of it being on this white tabletop. So hopefully that will help. And the first thing we're going to do is take our color number 1, which is our red here, our medium red, and we're going to use some of the white squares. We're going to match these ones up and just sew these together in pairs right there, all 4 of these, and press these toward the red square. Now take each one of those and sew one of the red rectangles to the side of it. So just like that, right there. Now press these all toward the red rectangle and then set these pieces aside while we work on the next section. Next we're going to take color number 2 and go back to our white squares. We're going to put one at the top and sew a diagonal line this way. You can draw a line and sew along the line. You're going to do that with all 4 of your light red color number 2 pieces. And these ones go from bottom left to upper right. Now you take these and cut off that corner, leave about a 1/4 inch seam allowance, take that and press it toward the triangle. And we're going to do the same thing with color number 3 with one very important difference. The pink ones we sewed from the bottom left to the top right. These ones we're doing the opposite, sewing from the bottom right to the top left. And with these we're going to use the same technique. Cut the corner off, leaving a 1/4 inch seam allowance, and press toward the dark piece. Now we have 4 of those and 4 of those, and we're just going to take each pair and sew them together like this to form a white V. Sew them together like that. I pressed these ones the wrong way, so these ones should be pressed toward the white. I'm going to go repress these so that they'll nest nicely. So now when you put these 2 together, that seam nest nicely when you sew it together. Pressing the correct direction makes a huge difference. Now these ones we're going to take and press 3 of them toward the dark side and 1 of them toward this lighter side. You'll see why in a minute. Now we're going to do our center pinwheel, and we're going to take both pairs of our remaining squares. We're going to draw a diagonal line right down the middle, or if you have a ruler like this one, which is a 1/2 inch ruler with a 1/4 inch line there, we have a link to this in the description, or it might pop up on the screen somewhere. See if I can do that or not. Then you can line up the middle line along your center line and draw your 2 lines and then sew on those lines. Or what most people do is draw 1 line right down the center and then sew 2 lines, each a 1/4 inch away from the center line. But if you have a hard time doing that, You might try this method. Now I'll cut these all apart right down that center line, and we'll press these toward the light color. Now we're going to take those that we just sewed. I'm just going to sew here and sew here and press those toward the lighter triangle. Now sew these together just like that. If you want to trim these off, remove some of that bulk and press this one either direction. It's going to be bulky, so whichever way it seems to want to go, let it. Now, remember when I had you press all of these toward the dark except one toward the light? Here's why. Because of that last seam, 3 of these end up pressed towards the light and 1 toward the dark. So find that dark one and match it up with your one of these that's pressed toward the light and sew those together like this, with the V, the white V toward the outside. Okay, so match those up so those will nest, and sew that right along there. And then take another one, any other one, because the rest will all match up automatically, and sew that right along there. Then you're going to take your other 2 and our original blocks, and you're going to sew 1 to each side like that, with the white V pointing up and the white squares, corner squares, pointing out. You'll take 1 and sew it right there, and then take the other one and sew it right there. We'll press this piece toward the outside pieces, and then we'll press these toward the center. So we're going to take those, and then our center piece, and then one of these here. Make sure all your white is pointing to the outside edges. And we're going to sew that together there, line up these seams right there, and then do the same thing here. Line up of these seams, sew right along there. Press the last seams in either direction. It's probably going to be more comfortable to press them toward the outside. And there you have it. That wasn't too hard, right? I love it when my seams line up almost perfectly. They're not perfect, but you can't tell from this distance. And if yours aren't perfect, nobody's going to notice that either, so don't even worry about it. Anyway, if you like this block and you like today's video, hit that little like button, subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to hit that little bell so that you're notified every time we put up a new video. And make sure you check out our website at tulipsquare.com, and we'll see you next time with a brand new video. Until then, happy sewing!